Sometimes the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and there are actual consequences to your actions. Now, I want to react to this video with this woman who went on a just a soliloquy about her life after marriage, and she's going through divorce. And again, I don't know the husband, so I'm just reacting to her thoughts and, her opinions and her experience through this process. And we're gonna get right into this. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's go ahead and see what she has to say about, life after divorce.
I would really appreciate uh tapping into the mid 30s divorced women TikTokers.
The divorced women TikToker. Shout out to you though for trying to get some help. I'm not knocking her for trying to reach out. I ain't got no problem with that.
I don't know where you are, but I need you. I'm looking for the women who are several months, if not several years, out of their divorce. Mine was in the fall of 2020.
Several years. That's wise because you want to talk to somebody who's been through this. That's smart.
And I just want to talk to you guys and hear from you guys about just like how the fuck you do it.
You just have to move forward. That's how you do it. It's not going to be easy. Again, there's consequences to your actions, and you can say how you do it, but they just had to pick up their bootstraps and move forward and hopefully find somebody that will love them and have another relationship. That's really it.
How do you carry on? How do you not let this destroy you? Because if you're in your mid 30s, you know that said divorce directly played into your ability to have children.
Pause. It's not going to play. So let me get this straight. You are saying that this divorce has caused you to not have the ability to have children? Okay, unless there's something going on I don't know about, can't you go out and just meet another guy and develop a relationship? And what do you know? You're in love. You start having kids again. So that makes no sense. Blaming your ex-husband for the reason why you can't have kids is insane. Because yes, unfortunately that happened. It does take time to heal from a divorce, right? That you don't just get over that. But at the same time, to say you've lost the ability or you don't have the ability to have children after the relationship, there's other people out there you can go meet. Hmm, Weird. Let's go ahead and go to the next segment.
Where are you guys?
Probably not on TikTok. I don't know. But I'm sure after this video does get released, they'll be in the comment section. I'm sure they're DM you. You can also go somewhere else. Again, I'm not mad at her for doing this, but they're out there. I can promise you that. You can get some help.
And do you need me as badly as I need you? Or have you somehow miraculously figured it all out? And either way, I want to hear from you. The hardest part of my divorce, and I don't know if this is the case for other people, but for me, the hardest part is feeling like I am perpetually in an alternate timeline. And it
Well, yeah, it's a divorce. Of course, it's going to be a different timeline. It's a different life. Why are you surprised by this? It's like people when they make bad choices or make these type of decisions, they act like it's going to be easy or there's going to be no consequences. I mean, what do you expect?
And it feels like that because I never pictured a future or a reality where I wasn't going to be with my ex husband and the community and family that we had. And I just find myself like over and over experiencing these moments of like, just, it's not supposed to be this way.
So of course it's devastating, right? That's what happens when we make these choices in life. But it's good she's recognizing in this moment in her life that she misses the family, she misses the community. Obviously, she misses her ex-husband. was never her intent to not be with him. It seems like in her mind that, you know, she's realizing the consequences and she's processing things. And that's good because sometimes people don't realize their mistakes till down the road. And hopefully, as we continue to watch this clip, she's learned from it. But let's go ahead and move on.
Like, I feel like I'm in the wrong timeline. I had a moment this morning where I was emptying the dishwasher and just putting dishes away, and I just broke down thinking, like, this isn't supposed to be my silverware.
So, of course, it's your silverware. Hate to break it to you. That's what you decided to do. And it's funny how people realize things down the road. And it seems like she's going through some regret here. That does suck. And again, divorce is nasty. It's very ugly. There's nothing pretty about it. And I don't support it. I don't think it's a good idea. You see what she's going through emotionally, and some of it is, yeah, that's tough. And I'm sorry to hear another stuff she's saying is a bit out of left field. But again, these are the consequences. The grass is not always greener on the other side when you make these types of decisions. But let's continue to roll the clip.
This is not supposed to be my plates. This isn't supposed to be my kitchen. All of this is wrong. How did I end up here? And I'm trying so hard to find the good parts of this new reality or dimension.
Shout out to you trying to find the good parts, but asking how did you end up here? Did you evaluate anything from that experience? Did you sit down and ask, not just ask those questions, have you answered them? What do you mean, how? Come on now. You're an adult. Got to figure that out.
That I'm in. And I am finding them in pieces, but the loss and the pain and the confusion of what I thought my life was.
My mother worked full time. She went to grad school. My father refused to finish college. He did not get a full time job, so he never had a 401k. He never brought in health insurance.
Hold up. Wait. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Take a step back. So, first of all, shout out to her. Just trying to make herself presentable, attractive. Shout out to her. I see you trying to work the hair. Respect, respect. But you bring up your father's business, his 401k. You talked about he didn't provide. The mom worked for. Why are you talking about this man's 401k and he didn't finish college? Okay, and why are we bringing this up? I mean, really, because at the end of the day, that's his personal business, and you're out on TikTok doing this. First of all, what you did in the previous clip to now, it seems like you still haven't learned anything in life about relationships. Because here you are, bringing up your father's business. Makes me wonder some things about you. That's very disrespectful and just way out of bounds. Just wow. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Jeez Louise.
My mother was the one who did all of that, and she wasn't able to do it on one income. So her family contributed financially
Lord have
instead
mercy.
of my father.
What are you doing?
Now, my mother went back to work while my father took care of me while I was an infant. And when my mother fell ill a few years later, my father ended up taking on the caretaker role. So, it's not like he was 100% incompetent or incapable, but there were issues.
Excuse me. This man stayed at home and took care of you. You acted like that wasn't a big deal. You just dismissed it like, oh yeah, he stayed home and he took care of your mom as well when she got sick. Are you not appreciative of his at least those efforts? Come on now. Raised you. We don't know his background. We don't know why he wasn't working. You didn't share any of that. You just said, yeah, he wasn't working. And then the family on your mom's side had to help financially. What? I don't even know what your dad does or what he was doing at the time, what he was going through, you know? Now, if he was just really not committing or making decisions to be responsible, yeah, that's not a good look. But I don't know the entire story, but putting his business out there like that, man, it sounds like you might have had some daddy issues, and maybe that's why it contributed. It might have contributed to your marriage. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's possible. See, because we're a reflection of our parents, and there's some ugly things that we deal with in our adulthood. We might need to take responsibility of at some point, right? Yikes! blaming him and getting upset about your parents or your dad here. Trying to figure out what that has to do with your divorce, in your relationships. But let's carry on.
And I internalized those and I heard conversations about them and I developed beliefs around this. One of the most fundamental things that I learned was that you need to ensure that the man is comfortable emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally at all costs, including your own well being. I also
Okay, she got a point there. You got to make sure you take care of yourself because if you're pouring into a relationship and they're not pouring back into you, then that's a problem. So she got a point there.
learned that you're supposed to go to therapy to find ways of suppressing your basic needs so that the man's needs can be met and you can live copacetically.
Whoa.
My mother also taught me that I would never get to keep a man if I didn't put out. She would give me tips on how to boost my father's ego when it was clear that he needed it. And so I just really developed these fundamental beliefs that my survival was dependent on making sure that the man was always okay. And I have a slew of failed relationships because of it.
Wait, wait. So you're saying that because what your mom taught you about making sure your guy's happy, you should have sex in your marriage. It's very healthy if you with withhold that stuff. We have this thing called dopamine. Now I'm not trying to excuse a man to go out and watch porn and masturbate. I don't subscribe to that at all. But if you start withdrawing, you make it harder on them because men are visual creatures. So they go out and see women. If they're working, if they're going to the gym, they have to deal with this during the day. So if you're not trying to stay attractive and have those encounters sexually, ooh, that's not a good idea. I'm just saying it's not good at all. Because you want to have a healthy sex life in your marriage. Another thing is, she said, I'm sorry, it's so funny to me that you shouldn't boost your man's ego. Men need that because they can only do so much by themselves. And when you're respecting them, appreciating them, building up, men love that. And if you think that's a bad thing your mom taught you, you might want to go relearn that lesson. And by the way, blaming your parents for your failed relationships when you are an adult. You see, when you move out of your parents' house, you start paying your own bills, start doing your own thing, becoming independent, you should start assessing those weaknesses and maybe work on them instead of blaming your past. Because you know what I call that? I call it a victim. That's what you are. You're a victim. And here's the thing. This is the bad part about the internet, right? I'm okay with you, I do YouTube. I don't show my personal stuff to you guys. That's weird, right? She's over here just being really, really personal about her dad not having a 401k, not finishing college, and the family taking care of the finances. Why are you sharing that? Because you're embarrassing yourself and you're getting clowned. Shout out to Raisin Blazins for that video, but my goodness, that's horrible. You really haven't learned any lessons from your divorce, it looks like. It seems like you just want to blame somebody else and you had a therapist. I wonder who your therapist was. Were they any good? Don't know. Got questions about that. Maybe you went to people that felt bad for you and they weren't going to actually give you some good steps. Or maybe you heard it and just went out the other ear. And then you, whatever that word she used, copacetically, I don't know. Just all these big words, shout out to the hair change. I mean, hey, you did something. That's good. You gotta stay in the market. I respect it. But all these relationships that failed, maybe you're the problem. You ever think about that? Blaming somebody in the past and not fixing it is on you. Because at the end of the day, we all have traits we might not like, but if you work on it, you get better. You don't act like a victim. So again, this is just a story of some modern women out there just don't always understand, and the feminist stuff going on, yikes. So hope you guys enjoy this video today. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, whatever you thought about this woman, what she's been dealing with her divorce and how she's handled it. Love to hear from you guys, and I'll see you next time.